Hey guys, this is Rebeca Flott, your host, and you are listening to the Artisan Soul Sessions. It's a podcast for creator, artists, makers, and all the people that wants to bring ideas to life. Today I'm bringing a friend, a woman. She's beautiful, Franny Titus. She is an actor, a mom, a wife, a sister, and a friend. And she's giving actually the steps how she did it, how she got into acting, and the steps and the success that she's experienced. This is going to be a very inspirational podcast. Please enjoy and share with a friend that you think that they needed to hear this. I think you need to share. And now let's listen to the conversation we had with Franny Titus. Let's go. Well, today in our show, we have the most amazing, beautiful woman, Franny Titus, and she is here to share her story. And we're going to celebrate the steps and the beautiful things that she has accomplished as an artist. I am so glad to have you here today, Franny, and this celebration, because I really believe it's a celebration of
It really is.
so much God has already done in our lives and in your life as an artist. So why go ahead and share with us a little bit about you and what's happening right now in your career and your life.
Well, right now, I had a photo shoot today.
Oh, wow.
And I will say I definitely prefer acting over modeling. Modeling is very hard. I was worn out.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been praying, last night I prayed, Lord, just please, because of your grace and your mercy, please continue to just open doors for me. And I, on my counter, have, 4 scripts I have to learn for tomorrow. So I'm shooting a short film in the morning, and then I have sides to tape for a casting director workshop. And then I have an audition for Hefty with John Cena. And,
oh my gosh, you're so busy.
And then another self-tape for a short film. So it's like,
wow.
I'm thinking, okay, God, I will be careful what I ask for.
Yes. Oh, wow.
But what a wonderful place to be in.
Yes.
I prayed for this, and so.
What was the place that you were a year ago? What was happening in your life a year ago? And then how did you transition to today?
A year ago, I had been in acting class for about 6 months.
Wow.
My father-in-law passed away in January 2 years ago. And my husband looked at me and said, we have to do what we love. And I've always loved acting. And so we really started a huge journey of healing and self-discovery with his passing. And that June, I started acting. I started doing a method acting class. And I remember my first class, I was scared to read out loud. And I had been in the class for about 6 months last January. And I remember being afraid to even call myself an actor. Like it felt silly to me. And I just had this dream in my heart and this desire, but it was something I didn't really share or, I felt like people wouldn't understand. I'm older, I'm a mom, I have 2 kids, I run a business, Right. And you looked at me and said, you have the agony of an artist. And I have that moment frozen in time in my spirit because like I said before, I've never felt so seen because you named what I was feeling. And I never knew that that's what it was, but I did. I had the agony of an artist, of someone with all this creativity inside of them that they just needed and wanted to share. And it's just so beautiful to see a year later, for me to be saying, I have this and this going on, and we're celebrating the journey in this podcast.
That's right. We are. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. And we are celebrating. I wish I can throw like fireworks and balloons right now. Boop. And we get to really, bringing creators that are going through similar, agonies right now,
Right.
bringing hope with your story. And that's really what we are here for, to bring hope
Absolutely.
and share that. And the interesting thing, Franny, is that Maya Angelou has a quote, and that's how I interpreted what was happening to you. The quote says, "There's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of
Oh,
you,"
wow.
by Maya Angelou.
I love
So,
Maya.
like that's what this is coming from. Like, what is the agony of the artist? Is that you have so much you want to say and tell and do, but you are looking for like where there is room for you to go do all that, like to
Right.
make a room for you to do that.
And like, does it matter? I think a lot of it came from too, I want to share feeling like I needed permission from someone or I needed to be
Oh,
invited.
yes.
Um, and realizing that I'm the one who needs to give myself the permission really at the end of the day. After you pointed it out, it's like, okay, so it's me, right? Like I'm the one
Mhm.
that has to just do it.
Right, right. That's amazing. And you said that so well. I am just going to tell you, you're the one that have to give yourself the permission for that. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, like I think I don't know where I got that belief or the thought that I had to be invited or somebody had to tell me, "Oh, you're so talented." And
Mhm.
I just had to do it for myself. And my husband and I talk about this a lot because, especially now where I'm, in the more professional realm and I have people that are relying on me, right? Like I have a really good agent and I'm going and being seen for things that I could potentially make really good money or make
Wow.
her good money. And so I still have to realize that I'm doing this for me and for,
Yes.
to have fun,
Right.
right? Because it's just a different language I have to use. It's a new place to be now,
I absolutely, can I just say how much I am absolutely loving everything that you're saying. And you're so gifted in what you're speaking, because
Oh,
what you're saying here is so fundamental, life changing for those that
wow.
wants to hear that. Because if you choose to pick yourself first, then everybody else will do that.
Right. And then, and circling back to celebrating, right? So
Right.
I have an audition. Does my celebration come from getting the part? No. Yes, of course. If I get the part, I will celebrate.
Right.
But my celebration comes from the work I do, in the audition. And do I feel like I gave everything that I had? Do I feel like I got in my own way? Because so many things are out of my control, right? So
Mhm.
it is about enjoying those parts of it too, enjoying the audition, enjoying
Right.
learning the lines, running them in the kitchen with my husband. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I
Right.
have to celebrate that too. It's all part of it.
And now I have to say, I watched you on stage this year. I was, oh my goodness, I was so blessed by your performance and how gifted you are. Like,
Wow.
I was like, oh my world, this woman is amazing.
That was
And
such an amazing thing to do.
oh my gosh, it is incredible. You know, and listen, so if you know there's somebody sitting in a room that their desire is to be an actor and to participate in plays and movies and pilots, what do you want to tell this person right now sitting
Ooh,
in that place that you
okay.
were sitting 1 year ago?
I think a lot of it there was this SAG strike, right? And we saw a lot of people writing on social media, who cares, And then I watched a thing by Brene Brown where she's literally explaining feelings and our emotions through clips from films. And she did a survey, and I think there were 3 to 4 emotions that people would name on average, 3 to 4, but there's really over 80. And the way she's teaching people to understand their own emotions, to better relate to themselves, better relate to one another, to connect, is through clips from movies. So I think we don't have to really figure out if it's important or matters or any of those things, or get permission or get invited. Like, if God gave you that gift in your heart, like Mel said, like the DNA of the caterpillar is the same DNA in the butterfly. Like, just do it, and you'll figure out everything else on the way. But I know, like, for the show I did, Steel Magnolias, I had people come watch me. I had my childhood pediatrician come watch me, and they're from New York, and they're like, "This is better than New York theater." And I'm like, "Okay, now you're pulling my leg." But she's like, "You look like you're 16 again." And it's because it lit me up. It gave me life. That agony was gone.
Wow.
And so the agony was gone, and I had stepped into fully this vibrant, creative, loving, giving, generous space. And so I would say just go for it,
This is so powerful. Now, what this person is probably thinking is, would you give me some steps then? If you're telling me to go, where do I go? What would be some of the steps that they have to take? Because I literally can feel like that's the question they wanted to ask right now from you.
Okay, so I will just go and say the steps that I did. Everybody's different. Everyone lives in a different city. The thing with acting now is there's so much more opportunity. You don't have to move to New York. You don't have to move to LA. There's so much in Atlanta. There's stuff being done here in Orlando all the time. There's a lot of people with this agony that want to create.
Right.
So, Facebook, I would look up whatever city you're in, auditions in the city, just to get in those groups where people will post things like, "Hey, I'm looking for an actor for this," or, "This local theater is auditioning this show." I would look for an acting class. There are so many that you could do on Zoom.
Wow.
Really great acting classes with very, very talented people.
Wow.
Yes, on Zoom. Also, I would definitely try to get in a class. If there's a class local in your area, I think with the class, be careful. You want to make sure you're in an environment with someone who's going to build you up, and you can kind of tell that right away. I was really fortunate that I started a class with someone who really knew my journey and really worked hard to be really mindful and build up my confidence again. And I've been in classes in the past where, maybe that wouldn't have been a good place to go back to. So I would say, don't just pick any class. Make sure that there's someone who's gonna to give life, and how that they treat you. And then, eventually you'll get a monologue memorized and audition for a theater, or, pull a scene and do a self tape and submit that way and get headshots. And, there's many, many steps.
I really appreciate you saying that. And so let's take a moment now, okay? And let's celebrate the milestones. So what would be, what can we how can we start that?
So, a huge milestone, Rebecca, is I signed on Wednesday with an agent that I've wanted to be with for over 15 years. Granted, when I met her Wednesday, was like, "It's so nice to meet you." And I'm in my head like, I've wanted to be with you for so
Oh,
long.
can we take a moment just to be grateful for that? Let's just take a moment to be grateful for that. That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's
It's hard. It's
huge.
hard for me to kind of believe, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going because
Okay.
this is
Okay.
really fun. Let's go.
Okay. Another thing is I got a lead in a pilot, and it's a comedy. And so I'm essentially the star of this show.
Wow. Yes,
And
you are.
and I'm very excited about it. We had a table read on Saturday, and it's
Oh,
brilliantly written. It bridges the gap of many generations and I would say political views and stances. It kind of brings everyone together through comedy. And
mhm.
I think, with our art, we have the ability to heal ourselves and heal each other. And so bringing people together is absolutely 100% the most rewarding and worth celebrating thing, I think, in my opinion. So I'm really, really grateful to be a part of that.
That is fantastic. And I'm excited to be there cheering you
Mhm.
on. This is gonna be the best. And we're going to believe that this pilot is gonna be bought, accepted, and distribute all around.
Amen.
All around. All
I
on
mean, it
board.
really is something special. So,
Mhm. That's amazing, Franny. I'm
yeah,
really happy about that.
I'm so
So,
excited.
what do you say in this new like pace of life for you, walking into your gift? How do you actually feel like? What is some of the things that comes to your mind in like day by day life?
Um, I feel excited and grateful. I also feel like the prayer, like, when you get what you pray for, pray that you can keep it,
Hmm.
So I definitely feel this sense, and, I'm working through it with journaling and prayer and meditation of feeling like I don't want to lose it, And I
Right,
think
right,
even just talking it out with you now, what's meant for me, I can't lose, right? I'm
right.
doing everything that I can. I'm doing my best work. And, there's a thing with artists and creativity, which I don't know if you've ever grappled with this of, and my husband, thank God, spoke life to me with it, is that we're not perfect, you
Mm,
know? And
right.
so I will fall short,
Mhm.
because I'm not perfect. And just knowing that that's okay as long as I'm doing my best, controlling what I can control, and enjoying what I'm doing and honoring everyone I'm working with, that there might be a time or two, or there will be that I do fall short. So that's kind of where I'm at now,
Mhm.
is like not wanting to let anyone down and wanting to not let myself down,
Mhm.
And so right now, today, I would say that that's kind of where I'm at.
And that is absolutely beautiful that you're saying that. And it's interesting that you're saying that because I heard that from other creators, artists, and even actors saying, hey, when you get something, you got to be worried because you're already thinking, like, what I'm going to do when this is over, right?
That's a huge thing. And so I feel like on this journey, I'll always have something there, and maybe that is part of the agony of the artist just evolved a bit, and
Right.
really working on being present, you know, um, in the moments that I can be fully present and celebrating in ways like this with you. And just know that it is something that will continue to evolve there are people that have had successful shows and then they worry like they're never going to work again. Like there's always something, right?
Right. And that's part of life, right? It's just to
Yes.
have to navigate between like, okay, how am I going to navigate that? But this is why I think it's so important that you have so many people that believes in you, right? You have so many.
Oh,
Can you talk a little bit about your circle of
well,
trust?
so I'll say my husband and I stopped drinking a year and a half ago. And in giving up drinking, I thought I was going to lose all of my friends. And in a
Oh,
lot of ways, I did.
wow.
But my group of friends now are like divinely placed.
Oh,
I get so much support creatively, artistically, emotionally, mentally that I've never had in my entire
oh,
life. And in the show that I was in, everyone who came to see me, I would say
mhm.
that is like the biggest gift that I will never ever forget, to see all of those faces there just believing in me and supporting in me. I've never had that before
Oh my
ever. And
gosh.
it's unreal to even think about. And I
Mhm.
have these beautiful friendships with people like you who just speak life into me and,
Mhm.
mine the gold out, and Dara, who is a godsend,
Yes, yes.
and, Lydia. And I just, our sunflower group, it's such a beautiful blessing. And I know that I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing without it.
Wow.
It's very important, who you have around you.
That's such a good word because sometimes we all think that we can arrive somewhere alone and we need each other, and that is so what you're saying is so important. To
Yeah.
be able to know like, hey, they helped me build me up, and you do that so well to others too. Franny, you do that so well. And I have to say this to you with all my heart and all my soul. I know that that you're going to go to places that are going to be so high and so powerful that you're going to have to manage when you walk in public because people are going to come and want to take your picture. you know,
Oh,
um,
Rebecca.
yes, and but I my prayer for you is that through navigating every victory that you have, that you soar, that you don't even get tired, but you soar, that you
Wow.
just go through the wings, soar, and then the wind, which is like God's grace over you, take you to those places and move you along. And I think
Amen.
this is the best is we don't know what tomorrow will be, but we know that is going to be absolutely incredible because you are putting the work, you're putting the faith, and you're putting yourself out there.
Well, what a blessing to have a friend, a fellow artist, speak those words into your life. I mean, it's just an amazing blessing and gift you've been to me, and seeing me and the encouragement you've given me and the life that you've spoken over me, Rebecca. You've
Oh.
changed my life forever, forever and ever and ever. I feel so humbled and grateful for that. I can't even put it into words. Maybe when I'm winning my Oscar.
Oh my gosh, Franny, you're crazy.
I'm
I
crazy.
know you will. I know you will. But listen, don't you worry. You just run your race, move your
Run my race.
race, and we are right there cheering on the sidelines.
Thank
I
you for
literally
being there
am.
for me.
Always, always. Now, I want to ask you something. The last live show that I had Jovan here, we decided to jump back and do part two on February. That's what we did because there was more things that we wanted to talk about and questions and things that we needed to navigate. So here's
Okay.
my question for you. I know you're a busy girl, but would you be willing?
I
Would
would be
you?
more than willing. Yes. Let's do
Yes.
it.
Let's come back in February so that way we're going to gather some questions. We're going to put some polls online.
Oh, how
And
fun.
we're going to get some questions, and we're going to jump in again in February. So it'll be a part 2 for this conversation.
I'm so
But
excited.
I wanted to, the last question of all now. Okay, this is the last question. How can people find you and connect with you?
Okay. I have Instagram. It's at my Franny Pack. It's MyFrannyyPakkk.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a YouTube. It's my Franny Pack again, and then Franny Titus on Facebook.
That's good.
FRANNYTITUS. And feel free to message me. I'd be happy to look at whatever city you're in and use my discernment on which classes or Zoom calls or whatever I can do to help anybody. I'd be more than happy to do that.
Thank you. And there's one friend here that she's messaging the message board, and she said Franny fan club.
I love it. It rhymes, right?
It does. It does. So that is a good idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love that.
I'll be part of that, please. Can I be part of that? We're going to do that.
What a blessing.
So, with this being said, we're going to close here with the gratitude in our hearts and so joy in our soul. I am so thankful for you, for who you are, and for this beauty that you bring around. And I'm excited for part 2 in February, and I'm looking forward to talk to you again.
Well, thank you so much for creating this space and the time and putting this out there, Rebecca. You are such a blessing to everyone. Thank you for having me.
Isn't this conversation so, so, so good? Again, go ahead, leave your review into this podcast, subscribe, and please share if you feel like this could help somebody that you know that has talent and is not doing anything with their talent. Remember, the talent that we have is a gift to share. It doesn't belong to you. So the gift that is inside of you, it's time for you to share. Thank you guys for so much for being here. The next episode coming up is going to be Dire Alex talks about mental health. It's amazing. And don't forget to plug into our live shows, which is Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be live. You can join us, message us, and connect with me. For right now, I just want you to stay at peace, be in love, or talk to you soon. Have a great day.